Raising athletes, the things that causes all dads to go bald and moms to buy minivans, empowering parents to help their kids succeed. Good to be back with my favorite group of people, fellow parents of young athletes. There's a crazy stat out there that says that 70% of kids quit sports by the age of 13. And it's because they're no longer having fun. It could be because of pressure, frustration, maybe not knowing how to handle losses. The problem is that parents, they're unintentionally reinforcing a negative response to losing by reacting emotionally themselves or giving the wrong feedback. Now, you might be asking yourself, why does this matter? Well, this is a big deal, and it absolutely matters. The long-term growth and possible impacts it will have on the child. If kids don't learn how to lose and handle adversity, it's going to negatively affect their confidence, resilience, and long-term success in sports, but also in life. I'll even say, more importantly, life. Let's just consider a story for a moment, and let's take this young athlete and let's just call it Jake. And Jake just lost the championship game, and he is really, really upset. Maybe he made a mistake in that particular game, and he storms off the field. He takes off his helmet, he throws it, he throws his glove. He's clearly distraught over losing the game and maybe even making a mistake in this particular game. And his parents see this, and they are just lost themselves on how do they react to this moment. How do they help little Jake? Now, parents, their first instinct are a couple things. Some parents, they just choose to ignore it, hoping that their child will just get over it on their own. Others will lecture their kid about what they did wrong. A few will try to fix it immediately, in that moment, by maybe even making excuses. Oh, the ref was terrible. But here's something that universally and fairly consistently works. A coach steps in, calmly helps Jake process that moment, and gives him the right mindset shift, turning failure into a learning opportunity. Now, I want to give parents sort of very clear, actionable tips for handling this moment that you're going to see a different result. And remember, I think it's important that we all get on the same page with this. The result that we want is that sports will be a vehicle to teach our kids to become incredible human beings later on in life. Because at some point in time, sports is going to end for everyone. Age and skill will definitely make that decision for them, even if they play professionally. There comes a time where professional athletes also have to, retire. So, sports are a wonderful vehicle that will, help kids to just become better people. They become better leaders. Another incredible stat that I recently read has to do with female athletes that play in college. It's very interesting. Apparently, over 70% of females who are in leadership positions in businesses around the world played college sports. College sports are incredible and present rare opportunities. One of those rare opportunities is that it's the only place really that you can teach in a somewhat controlled environment how to lose. And that's an incredible skill because there's a gift there. Now, so here are some actionable tips for parents, what to say, what not to say to young athletes after a loss. Do say, I love watching you play. This keeps the conversation open and safe. Don't say, you should have done this differently. Criticism in the heat of a moment, it just does not help. Do ask, what did you learn from today's game? This will encourage reflection for the young athlete. Don't do the blame game. Don't blame the ref. Don't blame the coach. Don't blame the teammates, although you might be tempted to. This teaches avoidance of accountability. We want to be in a position to teach resilience through losing and look at losses, because they're going to come, as an opportunity to learn. Now, this is going to help them separate self-worth from performance. Your kids, your child, your young athlete, they're more than just their sport. And also, we want to model emotional control. How you react will shape how they respond. And also, and this is a tough one for a lot of people, and so hear me out and give this a chance. I want to let this one marinate for a little bit, but we want to normalize failure as part of growth. Even professional athletes lose. Now, how do you help a child to bounce back from a moment of failure, from a moment where their team lost, or they are taking the responsibility for losing the game? Well, one is create a healthy post-game routine. Give them space to process and then discuss at the right time. You want to praise effort over outcome. You can say something like, "I saw how hard you worked today." You also want to encourage the next step, a next step in mentality. Here's something that you can say. What can we work on for the next game? Allow them to now look forward instead of dwelling on something that's going to be pushing them back. Now, here's some really important takeaways that I want all my fellow wonderful parents that I love that are raising athletes, is that losing is a lesson, not a failure. I'll say that again. Losing is a lesson, not a failure. If kids learn to handle losing well, they develop resilience for life. 2, your reaction sets the tone. Stay calm, supportive, and constructive after tough losses. Growth over outcome. Let me repeat that one. Growth over outcome. Encourage effort. Encourage learning. Encourage mental toughness rather than focusing only on wins. The last one, the long-term impact. Teaching a child to handle adversity in sports helps them succeed in school, in work, and in relationships. And when we get to a little bit later in life, and our kids have now started families of our own, and when we look back and we can see that our kids have become successful in all of these areas of life after we've applied these techniques, I can promise you this: you will be proud. Your kids are amazing. They're doing amazing things. And I think we need to change our perspective on how we look at failure, how we look at losses. They're opportunities to grow, to become better. I hope everyone enjoyed today's conversation. If you did, help us grow this community, because this is just not about me and you. This is about everyone, because the tide rises for all ships. Raising kids is hard. Raising athletes is really hard, but it takes a community. It takes a village, and we're going to do it together. We'll see you next time on Raising Athletes. Take care.